Here we go. Watch me flex my flow. You'll be the next to know. Spit it hot flambeau. Swing them bars like whoa. Grab the remote control. Must have called a million times. I'm on the other side. Hello. Better watch that stream. Caught up in the track to beat. Scrub that beat with bleach. So when I hit it, bro, I spit it clean. Burn it now. Have to turn the furnace down. Y'all don't want this beef. I hit them with a holy cow. Hit them with the verse. Got them thinking, wow. This ain't a game, kid. Why you play around? This that ill spit. Them bars are so sick. I'll shock the whole world in a phylactic. Every single time I spit another rhyme, the planets all align so bright I blind them with my shine. Bro, I'm designed to make your confidence decline. Every line about to blow like stepping on a landmine. Here we go. Here we go.
Oh yeah, back at it in the Ross Racing Studios. Thanks for joining in. We got one heck of a show lined up for you guys tonight. Obviously, we got to start off with some local stuff first because we got to keep it Canadian. Let's face it, us Canadians don't get enough props for what we're doing locally. So what is going on? Greg, thanks for the tires. They were money. Thank you very much. Matt, what's going on, man? Yeah, definitely going to have to make it out to the barnyard. I'll give this little sneak peek here. I ran a 2-wheel drive buggy. First time in like an infinity. It was definitely way funner than I thought. What's going on, Jonathan? Man, not going to lie. A little bit surprised by the turnout, and I want to thank everybody that showed up. Even though they didn't all race, everybody showed interest, and that's the important part. We are trying to start something completely new locally in the area and give you another option to have fun with our RC gear. So without further ado, I got a little somebody waiting in the wings to jump on in. Noah, what's going on, big guy? Waiting in the wings. He's going to kind of help me co-pilot this show here for us all. And let me bring him on board. I think you guys might know who. Douglas, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Adam.
All right, so obviously we were talking a little bit behind the scenes, and before we get into all the crazy stuff, we're gonna jump in to some of the results that we had out and about. So obviously, a few things that we're gonna talk about is the RC Niagara indoor race. Now, this one, I believe, took place yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. Was that yesterday? Or?
No, it was today. It was today.
It was today as well? Okay. And then the barnyard race, we'll touch on that, which took place last 2 weeks ago. But, yeah, it was definitely cool. It's like on road with Matt, man, when I had the right set of tires, the grip was tightening my slipper clutch up that good. It was amazing. Brian, what's going on? But so we'll jump kind of right in because I'm going to move your race up to queue number 2 because it took me a second to find Douglas's race from today too. So Speedy, yeah, no, this kid's no joke, man. He definitely knows how to hang. He showed me a pretty cool video of who was the driver there?
Sam Isaacs.
And his consistency, holy cow, I can only imagine. All right, so we're going to add this to the stream, and we're going to go like this so we can hide a few things. So we're going to start off with the RC Niagara. So just under 90 entries, so not too bad for, I believe this was a 9-point stay, but don't quote me. We have it was 9 points, right?
It was not points, no.
Yeah, it was just a club event. So that is a pretty good entry count for that. So the A main 12 scale We're going to see the results there. And Mike taking it down. And Tyler in the 2, Jeremy in the 3. Not too bad. And actually, Mike had a pretty commanding lead. But it's nice to see the top 3 all within 0.2 of each other. That's pretty good consistency right there. That's when you know the racing's good, when everybody's tightened up together like that. So, wow, VTA, 3 heats of VTA. That's a pretty big class up there. So does Brian have enough to hold off everybody charging hard? And he did not. Wow, he must have had some issues. Richard taking the top spot from the number 2. Chris taking the 2, going up 1. And Al in the number 3. So definitely a shakeup in vintage Trans Am A main. Now, obviously, I always say this, but the most realistic looking cars out there, Formula One. Now, does Carlo have enough to hold off everybody? And answer is yes. So the first 2 definitely had a great battle. 6 seconds between those 2 and on the same lap. And then, so you got Carlo in the 1, Mike in the 2, and Alex in the 3. Coop, what's up, man? How's it going? All right. So now we'll get into the touring car 21.5 A main. So Brian, again, let's see if he had a little bit better luck in this one, and he does. And he did it in a convincing fashion. Only 1/10 quicker for the fast lap, but definitely had the consistency up there at 94%. So you got Brian in the 1, Junior, Pete in the 2, and Chris in the 3. So not too bad. What was the 10-7, 10-8, and then a little bit slower after that. But Pete and Brian definitely having a battle. And Pete just, Chris had the consistency, just needed to pick up the speed. And Steve's consistency, holy cow, 96% consistent. That's not too bad. But get into the GT12. Actually, speaking of GT12, was that big at the Canadian Nats last year? I can't remember.
I think so. I think it had like 3 heats, I think. It's becoming more and more popular.
Yeah. So that's not too I like the look of the class, and I like that they're smaller, especially on the tracks that I've been racing on. I think the smaller cars are definitely a lot more fun to get around and race. So you got Carlo 1 for 1 taking the TQ and the win. Awesome job there. Actually, man, he's been running quite a few classes, as I can see. Nate in the number 2, 2 for 2, so pretty consistent there. And then Mark stepping it up 1 spot to get the last step on the podium. And fast laps are 11-8, 12-2, and 13. So, Brian's actually, man, he's actually on here. So I sat out the VTA main. My rent-a-ride left with, that's
Kenny,
why.
What are you doing? Come on,
I was wondering. I was wondering what happened.
Yeah.
All right. That's a legit excuse, actually. It's not like I forgot to dope my tires or something like that. All right. So USGT. So obviously the USGT, in my opinion, is the funnest class out on the track. And it is one I am looking forward to running very soon. Kenny Schaff car.
Yeah, it's an old A700, I think. The car is extremely good. Extremely good.
So yeah, for a VTA, it's got to be
extremely
pretty
good. It's just hard to find parts for the car, but it's extremely good.
Oh, look at he's actually chiming in too. Yeah, so the 2014,
yeah,
and I thought I was running an old car because I got a 2016 T4. But man, you know what? It's been treating me well, and I still got some spare parts for it, so I'm gonna keep rocking it. All right, so we're gonna jump into the USGTA main, and Brian, I don't know, man, you got enough to hold on to it or what? He's going from the TQ spot. Let's see. Yeah, he's got. Wow. Oof. Actually,
B-Ride.
He's got it in
Come on,
convincing
B-Ride.
fashion.
Go to a faster class, man. Come on now. What are we doing here?
Oh, faster class, eh? No, this is sick
I
though,
was
man.
wondering about that.
3 seconds apart. Brian taking it over Chris. Chris coming from the 3, so he stepped it up. And then Adam coming from the 5 to get the last step on the podium. So good run in there. But look at Chris's consistency, man. 95%. Pretty good, Chris. All right. So let's see. We'll get to is it the GTR, the faster class?
The GT12? No, I don't think so.
Well, yeah, it would be faster than GT12.
Yeah, it would. I don't know. It's probably pretty close.
Really?
Close. Yeah. Mike's car is quick.
Well, he TQ'd, so I don't know. Is he gonna have enough to hold off these guys? 25.
Between Jer and Mike in the pits. Oh god.
We're gonna see. What's up, Jay? All right, so we'll jump in, see if Mike has enough to hold off and he does. Actually, he killed it. Holy cow. 98. That's the highest consistency we've seen with a fast lap. Like, congratulations, Mike. You take the prize because that's impressive, man. 98% consistent and you lapped everybody twice. Holy cow. So Mike taking the win in WGTR. Jeremy in the 2, so 2 for 2. And then Scooter actually doing really well and jumping all the way from 7th on the grid to take the last spot on the podium. Look at the graph. For this one, Jeremy. All right, let's see. Look at the graph. Yeah, because 85. Let's see the graph. Oh, my word. He dropped like my heartbeat. Jeez Louise. Dead last. 1, 2, 3 laps. Clawed back up.
What are you doing, Jerry? You shouldn't even be down that far.
I think he had to pull over and basically wait for everybody to pass by and make it a little bit more exciting. But, dude, that was an epic comeback. I'll give you some props, though. Thank you for pointing that out because that is some sick-ass racing. Coming through the pack like that is definitely pretty sick. Oh, man. He's calling you out, man. I love it. And Scooter, geez Louise. Oh, man. All right. So we'll keep going to the fast class, I guess. This is wait, Super Stock, is that the 17.5? Yeah, 17.5 touring car is Super Stock, I believe. And we'll see what the results are. So you got Pete with the TQ and definitely showing how it's done on his track. 96% consistency. 1 lap up on Steve. Good job there. So 11-1, 11-1, 11-8. Close racing. So Phil came from the 4 spot and definitely stepped it up there. But definitely looks like there was some sick racing there. I can't wait to get to RC Niagara. I won't even be talked about on my show. Thank God I'm the host because I'll be in all the ones that I'm skipping. But next up, he actually showed me where they were racing this weekend. It was Phoenix RC Raceway. So a smaller turnout. It was just club day for these guys. So 21.5, 13.5. So we'll start with the Tamiya. Tamiya, you got Francis with the TQ and kind of drove away from him. 13 flat to a 13.9. So Francis taking the top spot. Matt in the 2, Shane in the 3. Let's go to F1. Oh, wait, I got to go back. I should have hyped it up a little bit better. Andrew Bakar in the top spot. What the heck happened? Second. That's not too bad. I just seen that there was a name change there. So Andrew got beat from the top spot. You got Dario in the number 1 coming from the number 2. Bukar in the 2 and I can't even pronounce that. Was that Wiz?
It's Guy Roos, Richard Pounder's friend.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just give him a nickname at the track.
Oh, Brian's calling you out, bud.
Oh god.
So
You're coming Saturday, Sunday. Yeah, I'll be there. Yeah, I was planning to go to Barnyard, but I read the post of it being Saturday, and then I went and figured out that it was a Saturday, Sunday. So yeah, I'll be at Niagara Saturday and Sunday. So fair practice day on the Saturday and the race on the Sunday.
he's on road mode, locking it in. All right, so we'll go to 21.5 TC, which is another class I find I've been gravitating towards. You got Ty taking the win, 1 for 1. TQN the win, 2 for 2. You got Matt DeSilvia. Wow, haven't seen his name in a while.
Yeah.
And then Martin in the 3 for 3. So the only shaker and mover was Ian. He stepped it up from 6th to 4th, but not too shabby there. Up next, 13, 5, 12 scale. Douglas and Douglas. TQ and the win. 40 laps at you guys run 8 minutes with these bad boys. Holy cow.
Pancar's always 8.
Oh, you just broke Matt's heart. He was gonna bromance you when you went to the barnyard.
If it wasn't a rug burners race, I'd go. But it's a rug burners race, and I'm in the series, so I'm going to Honor.
Gotta go. All right, so then you got Pete in the number 2 and coming up from the 4 spot. So that was a nice drive. And JBJ, is that the JBJ?
JB Catricella, yeah.
I thought so. Yeah, he's super quick too, man. Holy cow. In the number 3 spot. So he basically only one to drop a little bit was Leonard. All right. So last but not least, I believe is TC Mod. And you got Barrett set TQ over you. Jeez, you should make sure your shit's tight next time. All right. So TC Mod, you got Brett Morrow basically going looks like tone to tone. 10-5. Yeah, that's fast. Edwin in the number 2 coming from the 4th spot. And you got Philip 3 for 3. Basically, you got 11 flat, and 11.5. So first and second definitely having a run. 1.4 seconds apart, man. Jeez, that's not too bad. No, he did not win every race, believe it or not. Yeah. So I know a little behind the scenes stuff. Do you want to tell them what happened in Mod?
Basically, I took a quick peek before my main. I don't know. I kind of struggled with the car all day. Wasn't turning, kind of was reacting weird. Couldn't really get it to work properly. Long story short, I ended up figuring out just before my main that both my front bulkheads were bent. Which even then, I just checked this today and found out that my bulkheads and the upper trays that hold the spool in, both of those were also bent, and that was just on the front end. So that's just from like checking maybe a half hour's worth of work in the front end. So I'm hoping there's nothing else with the car, but I have to go like all over it, like strip it down to nothing, make sure everything's flat on it, because it was really bad. It was really bad.
Yeah, so. It's odd for you to not finish a race, that's for sure. All right, so
okay.
Oh yeah, dude, trust me, I'm pro at not finishing races. Let me tell you that. All right, so the only other one I have is from the barnyard, but I am going to save it because they have a race coming up this weekend. So we'll do more of an off-road thing coming up because we're going to kind of go into the off-road. But before we do, next Sunday, you got the Rug Burners race, Pete's track. You got Windsor RC race, a point series as well. And you got the Barnyard race. So you got the trifecta. I don't even know if there's any more racing locally. But geez, that's why you were grounded this week. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. And then were you grounded?
No, I'm just not. Dude, I didn't walk out of Phoenix last night until like midnight.
Oh,
So I was like, there's
that-
no way I'm going home. And then getting home at like 1 and then waking up at 6 or 5:45 to go race again.
yeah,
So,
that's a late night for sure.
yeah.
And Doug actually told me too about the big race at RC Niagara. It's coming up on March 12th, and
That's the last one.
I'm thinking that might be the one I attend. And then we're going to have the March Meltdown coming up at Windsor RC Raceway as well. So March is going to be lit because we also have the Canadian Nats coming up in the end of March. So March is going to be busy for on-road. Good thing is, after the Canadian Nats, I'm going to just drive my on-road car into the wall and park it for the winter or summer. Park it for the winter. Yeah, the winter.
Yeah.
Till next winter.
Yeah.
What's he saying? Bring Brandon's buggy next weekend and join it.
Brandon.
Matt, if it wasn't a points race for us in Windsor, I would definitely do that. I do plan on going to the off-road thing now that I have. I'm not going to lie. This thing was dialed, and for a two-wheel drive, I was happy. And I don't know, man, this paint scheme's starting to grow on me too, man. It was pretty fun. Yeah, Coop. I tried looking it up on Live RC. So, Jim's so mad, man. You got to go to Otterville, then you'll see him riled up here and there. All right, so let me see if I can find the extreme race. I did look it up, and I thought I had it. Like, I'm just typing in extreme, and it's not coming up. It's there. Because I got Extreme RC Track, Extreme RC Raceway, and the one is the Saturday race. Extreme RC. So XTREAM. Yeah, no, man, nothing's coming up here. Can you find it, Douglas, and just share your screen?
It. Let me see.
No, me neither.
I think.
Yes, Chris. Yeah, it should be a blast. So far, it's the three of us, but I heard somebody might be the fourth.
Oh, that's not it. I mean, I get two tracks. One is in the US, and the other one, when you go into it, it says there's no results and there's no track name to it.
No, eh? Yeah, one was in South Korea too. So are you saying? Wait, there's got to be some. Here we go. Okay, I'm gonna copy that, Coop. Oh, wait, no, it won't let me. It will not let me. Hold on. It should just come up when I'm typing extreme, though.
That's exactly what I did not want to happen.
Okay, I'm gonna see if I can find it. Oh, not that.
It is not coming up for me, man. I apologize, but here, maybe if I just go and type it in up at the top. Oh, wait, he's doing it off the website or something? So HTTPS.
Okay, I got them. I got them
you want
on RC.
You want to share your screen then, bud?
Yeah,
throw it
one
up there.
sec.
Make sure you hide all that suspicious stuff and top secret techno stuff.
Yeah, okay. I don't know what you're gonna see, but okay. One sec.
Who is?
Sure.
We are.
January. Yeah, I see it. Okay, one sec.
So the Nats are being held at the Welland Mall this year, bud. And me and John went and just heckled them and hung out, and it was such a good time that it's one of those bucket list races. I know that we're going to have a special guest on next week to talk about it, and stay tuned, man. Thank you, Brian. Yes, it's at the Seaway Mall. Thank you. Awesome not facility. It's like the atmosphere was awesome. Yeah, it was so cool. People are literally shopping, walking by with their bags and being like, what the heck is going on here? It was and I like that they had different rooms for the pits and stuff like that. I would say it is a bucket list race for sure, especially if you have an on-road carpet car. It's one of those races that you should definitely attend.
All right, I got that extreme thing.
Yeah, you just have to share it to me, bud, and then I can post it up. Oh, there it is. Okay, so we will do this, and so you have to scroll because I can't control it.
Yeah, you tell me what to start with.
What obviously how many? So 60 entries, not bad, man. So we're gonna go, and I apologize, everybody. You got to look at your names real quick if you're in the lower mains like me. But we're gonna go to the A mains, and we'll start with whatever A main comes up first, bud. D C B B C B B B A. There we go. Oh, I love short course. So does Wyatt have enough to? Oh, Coop, man, I see it. All right, so let's click. Yeah, I kind of figured that. Coop for the win, man, taking that top spot. Close, so man. Jeez, actually, everybody in the top three was close. 2 seconds apart. And you guys were all on a 28 lap pace, and I gotta give a shout out. So Coop taking the win, Wyatt in the 2. Man, Thomas Murad, is that Murad? It's a rad name, but I'm And then Williams, I got to give you a shout out just because you were only 1 lap behind. And Randy, you're like me. Jeez, yeah, bro. Coop. All right, so up next we got two-wheel buggy A main. Kyle, this kid's fast, man. I'm wondering if he has enough for all these peeps, and he does. Brandon taking the second step, actually, in the 4. You got Wyatt again in the hunt, man. So he was right there. But what was the pace there? 11.5, 11.7, 11.9, 11.9, 11.7, 11. Damn. All you guys were super close. I don't know what happened to the last name there because I can't see it, but it must have broke. Oh, so Aaron, 15 laps down. Something must have happened. So two-wheel drive buggy. What's up next? Stadium truck, Amy. So stadium truck, it was super cool because that was the biggest turnout at Windsor RC Raceway for our first off-road. Second would have been Wheeler, and third would have been two-wheel drive buggy, and that's why I can claim to be the fastest because there was only 3 there. So how do you like that? All right, so did Mike have enough to hold off everybody? He did. So Mike with the 12.7. Wow, not the fastest, just 96% consistency. Sometimes get you the win when you're that close. Andrew in the 2 and Ramel in the 3. Mike Dory, man, nice to see him out there. And Coop, something happened. Had a bad day, I bet. All right, so going into the Wheeler class, Aaron, wow, nice qualifying. Let's see if he has enough to finish it off. Nope. Got Kyle taking it down only by 4 seconds. So definitely 11, 11-1, 11 flat, 11-2, 11-1. Damn. So fast laps were there, but look at the consistency all throughout. 97, 97, 95. Dude, that consistency was pretty sick. So everybody looked like they were having a good time there. Steve, oh man, you got to stay tuned. We got some hot body shit we're going to talk about. Boy, oh boy, hot bodies. Kyle, congratulations. Aaron, nice try. And Brandon, man, that's definitely good. Thank you. Man, I can't believe I couldn't find that. Like, what the heck was up with that?
Yeah.
So obviously we had some predictions, and one of the predictions Douglas got right. And actually, I could probably pull up the picture for this one. Coop. Oh, he sent me some. Let me see if I can get to the predictions here. Boom, boom. It was this one right here. So I'm going to put mine on the screen here. Whoop, I messed that up. Hold on. Add to stream. There we go. Mr. Mayako now. And all I got to say is after seeing two big events, he's getting more comfortable with the cars. He looked strong. And I got to say, not too bad. You guessed it right. Jared Tamayako. What do you think about, or should we do the result first before we talk about what we think about the top pros?
Do the result probably.
Yeah, just so everybody get a feel. Yeah, Tebow did look good, but
he does look good.
Man, there was this guy right here. Let me see if I actually picked the right one. Oh yeah, a little sneak peek there. Better remove it before Steve gets a little excited. But we'll pull up the results here first. Do this. Boom. Boom. All right. So we're gonna start with the e-buggy first. And we'll go like that. All right. So gotta say, Spencer Rifkin definitely impressed. Being one lap up on the field is not too shabby. And Ryan Mayfield in the 2, Cole in the 3, Kyle, the local, was definitely moving. He it's his home track, local kid, definitely doing good. Lutz in the top 5, Aiden in the 6, Frankie with his new ride left TLR for Mugen, so he's got a big pair of shoes to fill with not Lutz, Ryan Mayfield being gone. Tebow in the 8th. I know he had a little bit of a bobble with Lutz in the first 2 turns, took him out and put him way back and was able to battle, which is cool. Carlos, another local, and then Drake rounding out the top 10. So definitely some different names up in that mix.
Yeah.
Then you got Pro Truggy A Main. And now number 1, Ryan, what can I say? Definitely really impressive. His drive was consistent, clean, and he was hauling the mail. But, man, 6 seconds behind, you have Little Bump. Unbelievable run. Ryan Pavidis, a little bit of a surprise. Cav still running the TLR. Jared Wiggins, really impressed with Wiggins. Yeah, Fee Long, dude, man, he killed it. You got Lutz in the 6, Tanner in the 7, Tebow in the 8, still running the Techno truck, and then Adam Drake in the 9, and Camden Lime rounding out the top 10. Just got to get a little plug out there. 2 S-Works in the top 10. I'll take it. All right, now for the Pro Buggy A Main. Spence again had Mayfield's number, man. Spence looked really comfortable on that track and it just seemed dialed. Put 6 seconds on Mayfield. That's pretty impressive. But Cole and Ryan had the battle brewing. And I felt that Cole's car looked so much better than Ryan. It's just Ryan was basically Ryan. He's hard to beat. So if he figures out that techno setup, if you watch any of the replays from the A Main Challenge, you'll see his wing going crazy. And I know Douglas wants to talk about that when we start showing the pictures and stuff like that, but he'll have a better explanation for you guys. Jared Tebow in the 4, very impressive with the Mayako, but Little Bump in the top 5. Ryan with the K car, Wiggins with the Techno, Tanner Cavallari with his first race running WRC, and then Kyle Turner, and well, we'll say Adam Drake again because man, he made every single A main pretty impressive for a 63-year-old guy. Yeah, no, Rifkin was on fire for sure.
Crazy.
No, hey, Cole, I'm telling you, Cole is looking pretty racy coming out at the start of the season. So, all right, so we'll remove that from the thing. And obviously, in my personal opinion, I don't feel that Ryan is as comfortable with the new setup as he was with Mugen. Bottom line, it just looks like weird.
I don't know. I don't think it shows in his driving that he's as comfy with his cars, but I've heard otherwise that he says the cars are really comfy.
He's sponsored by them. He has to say
That's true, but I've heard it from people who have. Like, there's.
I know. Yeah.
But I don't know.
But from an amateur looking, the buggy doesn't look as comfortable.
I think
it's not Mayfield-ish.
No, because the big thing with Mayfield was that, at least with his Mugens, he wasn't always the fastest, but he was the most consistent.
By far. Yeah.
By a long shot. And
yes.
I think what Mayfield's doing right now is, instead of going for fast but consistent, he's trying to go for the fastest. And then because he's lacking the consistency, that, say he does a 27 flat, that 29 he just did with the next lap means absolutely nothing.
Right.
So it's I mean, I've seen some of the setups too. They're wild. Like, there's some wild setups, and I'm like, man, this is aggressive, and it shows he's setups are aggressive, and he's driving the car very aggressive. Like down the SIC, like he was throwing it into the corner, throwing it off the jump, throwing it out of the corner. Like, there's nothing smooth about it. Like,
no, it's like he was not. Obviously, he's not fighting the car. It's just he's not found his comfort zone yet. In my opinion, it's just
I don't think so.
Yeah, and like, obviously he's a talent, and he could probably race my shoebox over there faster than 90% of the people. But DNC is going to be the test, because not only are you going to have more fast guys in the fold, you're going to have the ones traveling from obviously to the continent. Like Ronifal's going to be in the mix. Batier's going to be in the mix. Boots is going to be in the mix. I heard Canas is supposed to be going. So those are those guys aren't slouches. So I think that.
And it's the thing too. It's so hard to say, because I don't know how much testing he's actually done with the Technos. Because at least with the posts, I'm not sure, to be honest with you. As far as from what I can hear, it's been really good so far.
Right.
It's also too, like, he's going through a big change. I don't think he has the same pit guy as he had at Mugen.
Really?
I'm pretty sure he has a different pit guy. Don't cuss hard on that, but I'm pretty sure he doesn't have the same pit guy anymore.
Right.
So in the pits, he has somebody different. Yeah. Because every time he tags his post, it's not the same people. That's not the same guy. It's someone else that's helping him out with the pits. Mm-hmm. So he's a new pit guy. He's got a new car. As far as I can see, at least posts and what's going on, he hasn't done a lot of testing with the car himself. He's been kind of going, hey team, what do you think's working? And they've been going, hey, this is what we think works, and just been putting on his car.
He should listen to this guy Douglas. I know he's pretty quick. I'm just saying, but I'm hoping he's not listening to Wiggins, because man, did you ever see Wiggins? Well, obviously you've seen his setups. Like his setups, I don't even understand it, and I'm not even a techno guy. And I'm looking at it, and I'm
there's a reason why they call him the Wizard, because I don't understand how he runs any of his cars or any of his setups. They don't make any sense, and I don't understand how they function. Like, I just don't get it.
And you're the techno guy too, so that's
I don't understand. Like, I get it. Like, okay, I can see like the tiny bit of theory behind it, but I'm like, to get it to mash all together, I feel like you need all of the pieces, and it's like if you're missing one, that thing just falls apart. And I'm like, you can't have it like that. I mean, maybe at his level, sure, because you always have access to it, but you can't have that.
Right.
So, to be honest, I think he needs to do more testing. I mean, he might have been, I don't know, but from like posts, like when Wiggins tests, at a local track, blah blah blah, doing this, that, and the other. All
Right.
Mayfield has posted is that one big race, cars are prepped for the next big race. That's it. That was it.
But
So
they knew getting Mayfield, you're not getting a media guy. You're not getting posts. You're not getting Facebook.
no.
You're not,
No,
he's
and
not
that's
that guy.
and that's true, and he never will be that guy. But it's one of those things where I'm just kind of like, I wish we could like let us know, like, because like the Techno truck, they're testing, and you can see it in pictures. There's new shock towers running on the truck.
Okay.
And all the pro drivers have them. And then like there's a new couple things on the buggies that they're trying.
Well, just show us.
You have to look at their pictures of the car. I don't have any.
No, you're a pro guy though. Like I figured you'd already have that.
No,
no, I know. You're just our pro guy.
But like there's so many things that they're. I don't know if he's testing them or Wiggins is testing, because I know Wiggins does a lot of R&D for them. A lot.
Yep. A
lot. Like the guy goes through like, was it 25 gallons a season or something like that? It was
a ridiculous amount.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But I do give him a lot of props.
100%. The guy does crazy amount of testing. Who do you think is the best so far this year?
I'm just asking. I'm asking the people, not you. Me and you already talked about it.
Okay.
It's just so we can like lean into it. But I think that the Techno camp is definitely they're looking good, man. Like there's nothing wrong yet. It's just you wanted to see him come out swinging. And get that elusive win, because they've won an e-buggy, they've won an e-truggy. They need that pro nitro buggy win. That's what they're trying to do with Mayfield. And honestly, he's right there.
Yeah. To be fair, I wouldn't be shocked if we see like a pivot ball conversion for the Techno. I wouldn't be surprised. Like a pivot ball conversion for the front end of the car. Just because he comes from Mugen and he's used to that.
Come on. No.
I could see that though. I could see that.
Yeah.
Well, because think about it. If he's struggling with his cars as bad as we think, what is he going to go and lean back to? How compared to his Mugen, where he was winning everything? That's what he's going to compare it to. So,
because honestly, look at what we've seen in the past 2 years. Yeah. It has been Ryan Mayfield and Fenn fenning himself. Because if Fenn has something that can take his driving style, it's basically Fenn or Mayfield. Fenn or Mayfield. Those guys are killing it.
Entire season. That's what it was.
Lee learned. Yeah, Pierre. No, those are good picks, man. Lee looked really racy, and your Norman is definitely fast as well. But the wings. You wanted to talk about. Okay, so what I look for when I'm watching even Douglas or Andrew Bakar or somebody at like even Otterville or something like that, I always look at their wing, the attitude of the wing. If it's going and bouncing around all silly like, I feel like the setup's just not quite there. Now, when you see Douglas and he's doing his smooth Douglas runs, you see very little movement in the wing. And when he's actually in the turns, you see it's very smooth transitions going from turn to turn, entry, exit, in mid corner, all the way to exit. Now, I don't feel that, and I'm just watching video, his buggy's wing it's looking almost not pro. It's really weird.
It's weird. I don't know. I still think it's set up. It could be where he's mounting the wing too.
Right.
I'm gonna ask a question for us racers. Will you make the outcome series for your best 5? However, I understand the problem. At this point, I'll be there. I'm pretty sure I'll be there for the first 2. I haven't really looked at my schedule, to be honest, after that, just because on road and what's kind of going on right now, I've been focused on that. I don't see why I couldn't make 5 out of 8, but it really all depends what I hit in the US. But for the first 2, probably for sure. So
nice. Well, we love seeing you there, but obviously we'll have you on the big screen at O-Town if you're not in attendance, because we want to see you just be as good as you possibly can. And racing in the States is what's going to up your game, because you know what, a few guys are trying to step it up to catch you, and I'm hoping that they have a little something for you this year. But it's definitely tough.
Mhm.
Mugen also. Oh yeah. Mugen does have a
Sure.
wider chassis, John. Oh, for sure.
Maybe in e-buggy, yes. Nitro buggy, no.
No, Nitro
Uh,
Buggy. They went with the wider chassis in the Techno 2.0, right?
Yeah, anything past the 2.0 Nitro buggy is wider. As far as I'm pretty sure. Yeah, they didn't change anything for the 2.1. Um, but I know with the 2.0, the Nitro buggy chassis is very wide, or it's not. I
Yeah.
should say very wide. It's much wider. But the e-buggy they still kind of keep narrow, which honestly I think is an advantage over a wider chassis, especially in that lower grip situation where you want the car to roll. A wider chassis, you have to, because it's so wide and it's so out so far, you have to then force it to lean the one way when you get into the corner. So I think the narrow chassis, low grip is an advantage. But sorry, going back to the setups on with the wing and everything, I just feel like his shock setup isn't there yet. I think what he's done is he's grabbed what he used in his Mugen for piston and oil and put it right on the Techno, and has been running that.
Right. So he's
And
got to
I'm-
figure that out.
And I'm telling you, like from what I can see in his setup sheets, the piston and oils that he's running are crazy weird.
I try and hang with him for at least 2 turns. That's my new goal. At least 2 turns before he drives out of my life.
But yeah, no, I'll tell you, like the pistons he's using are the MIP bypass pistons, but the MIP bypass like pistons that he is using are like not like the common ones he used in the Mugen. They're like some real, like weirder than Wiggins's pistons that I've ever seen in my life.
Wow. Because
I don't know,
Wiggins
man,
drills
weird.
his own pistons.
Drills
He's
his
got
own,
like
yeah.
the
But
like
he's done all
he's
the
up to
R and D
32
on them.
holes or something like that. Yeah.
12, I think, something like that, something crazy high.
It's crazy. Yeah, I was just joking, but yeah, he's up there.
He's done the R and D for it to make sure it works.
Right.
Where I think maybe we'll just grab these pistons, put them in the car, and cross his fingers and hope they worked.
Full send.
Because I don't think it's the right shock setup yet.
Right.
But who am I to say? He's the pro and I'm not.
Oh no, and honestly, like I just think that you're like kind of hitting on something because his wing was looking pretty abnormal, and it's all about the shock package. Because I know you said he was mounting it farther back. He's running the JC wings, the F1s on all 3 vehicles from the picture, and let's face it, man, like he still did relatively well. Like.
Well.
Yeah, 2 seconds in a first is not
bad.
horrible. No, like especially with the competition. But there was one key person missing, and I definitely think that he is going to be ridiculously tough to beat. Let me go like this. Sick. 1, 2, 3. Just like crushed it, and then at the first 10 scale race of the season, TQ first, and what do they give him this trophy just because he's Dakota? Like he needed another one or what? Like this guy is a winning machine.
Yeah.
Man. Oh, John's got a question. Let's see what he's saying. We think we should see a bit. Oh. We are kind of talking off-road. If you want, I will send you the link. We can have you jump on board and definitely hype it up. I kind of got a little sneak peek of it, and guys, it is awesome. We have 18 people on now, 19. It keeps jumping right between 19 to 22. So we got a few, we got about 10 minutes left. So we can definitely, I don't know. We'll see if we get some comments on there. But so far this season, being undefeated is no joke. I feel that he is definitely looking good. But I just want to throw something out there. He is the only one that carried over everything. Into the 2023 season.
I think here's my opinion on that. I think for the first give or take 2 months of the season, he will
Yeah.
dominate absolutely everything. He'll come in and he'll clean sweep absolutely everything. Because the stuff that he's using, he knows how to use it properly. He knows how it works. He knows how to change it, knows how to adjust it, knows how to refresh it all.
Yes.
Every other big name you can think of is either made a chassis change, an electronic change, or a tire change.
Yeah,
The
something.
3 biggest things in our seat: chassis, electronics, tires. The 3 biggest things, one of them I've either made one or all 3 changed.
Right.
Like,
And some went from pillow ball to C hub, which is, oh man, like the difference in that is just extreme.
it's a very different drive. Very different. So,
yeah. All right.
But-
So we already talked about here. I'll throw this up for. Oh wow! I didn't even know you could do 2 at a time. I just learned that. That's awesome. Okay. So we already talked about Mayako there for Matt Dixon, Mr. Mayako, and he's building a pretty strong team this season. But the one that I wanted to talk about was, where's the Lambo? This kid is definitely surprising me. Where? Oh, you know what? I don't think I didn't get the lamb. Oh, there it is. Okay. I was gonna say, I'm like, I did it right in front of you. All right. So obviously, man, Little Bum. He is really impressing me.
Yeah.
He's driving with the sticks, but he is, man, he's making the show. He's battling for the podiums now. And if I don't even want to say figures anything out, he's there.
He's another one of those drivers who didn't change anything except for the nitro motor he runs. And even then, he went from a Performa to an OS, which is in my opinion, probably an upgrade. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say the same thing. Yeah, because there's so many different changes.
Yeah.
No, that's a tough one. But Little Bump definitely showed well. I do have another one of Little Bump, I believe. Yeah, like when you're on the driver's stand, finishing second behind Ryan Mayfield, you're doing something right, man.
Yeah.
Like I'm definitely impressed with how he was able to do that. And not only that, he finished strong in buggy as well.
Yeah.
Top
Super
5,
strong.
yeah. And I have no idea what his dad does for work, but he goes and races like
either.
all over the joint.
Yeah.
Flying everywhere.
Yeah, I'm curious if Hot Bodies gives him a yearly salary.
To do travel?
Yeah. Well, because if he gets his travel covered, his expenses. So say he gets travel and say expenses for the race, and say entry fees entry fees. That's usually what a pro driver gets. It's expenses, travel, entry fees,
right?
And then whatever car stuff you need on top of that. But if they're giving him that and a yearly salary, I wouldn't be surprised if that's how he's traveling everywhere. Or even if they're just covering every one of his expenses but not paying him, all like you could literally that's literally saying you're racing RC cars for free, literally in a nutshell. Like that's literally what you're doing. So if you work and it's you make it so you're flexible more on your days and your hours and you just take more days off, well, you can compensate that because where you're going is basically like a full paid vacation, basically.
Type deal, yeah. No,
Yeah,
I agree.
So, but I don't know if he's paid because he's so young. I don't know.
There's got to be some kind of stipulation with that for sure. Yeah.
Now here's the thing:
is he 12?
Yeah, I assume he's 12 because it's 2023. He was 11 last year, so he's probably coming up to turning 12. But Matt, me and you both, bud, we all wish that.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, me
we
too.
We all wish that.
Yeah.
But no, the biggest thing right now is I'm wondering if they do like a thing where they give them, or that if they're paying him a yearly salary, it goes to his dad, not to him.
It makes sense because
what happens is that what they'll do is because he's under 18, like even for me, some contracts, they make you co-sign because you're not like technically an adult yet. So I wonder if his dad co-signs it so that when you get on, his yearly salary potentially goes to his dad, not to him. But it's under Feelong's name.
Right, yeah, because he is the one doing all the work.
All the racing.
It's just
Well,
his dad's just the one getting him there.
Yeah. So I could see Hot Bodies, they have some kind of arrangement there. I could see that. So, because doubt me or not, but I would say in some cases I'd say Feelong's their most consistent, best performing driver right now
He's definitely doing
in all
pretty
three
good.
classes.
Let's see here.
So, Norman Cole's doing great, and he's always been doing great. But I think Feelong in the next, even this season, I could see Feelong outperforming Cole in just the way that he's progressing so fast. I could see it.
Oh, snapperdoodle. I just think I got something here.
There we go.
Oh, man. All right. Well, we're definitely going to have a little something there because look at I got a gift. And that gift is the RC goodness. This is from my good friend Jeff. Thank you, Jeff, too, for swinging out and helping us out with the track, man. This guy doesn't even race RC cars yet, and he still definitely did it.
Yeah.
Well, we can throw you on board. We got a few minutes here. Let me see if we can do this. I'm going to do Messenger, and then we'll do. It goes. That's funny. There. Boom. All right. So close that out. And we got 23 peeps on board. So it might be prime time to show a little something. It probably falls under Keegan's law. Underage parents get 10% of their income. The rest is put in trust. 10%? Jeez. That sucks.
They probably put that kid like maybe 20 grand, maybe.
Yeah, so he's
I bet he falls under like the no tax category at the end of the year, I bet.
Yeah. Many thanks to everyone who made Otterville what it is today. Yeah, you know what? Oh, we got a little something. Let's see. I don't even know what it looks like with 3. We got to get an intro made up for this guy. We might actually have one. But welcome to the show, bud.
Good evening.
So what's going down at O-Town?
Just chilling by the fire.
So, yeah. Oh, yeah. You showed me the cool stuff. It's definitely awesome. But question for you. Who is your biggest surprise so far of the season? I know it's young, but who's your biggest surprise of the season so far?
I would say probably Mayfield to Techno was probably a big surprise.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of knew Jared was headed. I would say probably Mayako. I wasn't 100% sure, but I could kind of see that coming.
Right.
Who else made a big change?
Well, my biggest surprise was definitely Ryan Cavalieri. Okay. I thought for sure he was going to retire. We're like, why leave TLR? But maybe there was something behind the scenes.
Or stay.
Yeah, I would have stayed there, but we'll see how he does with WRC. So, you wanna introduce something?
Well, I mean, Jeff Joyce. He's been kind of the video designer for yourself, and he's been kind of he's been doing a lot of the video uploads here and there for Otterville, doing videos for Nitro Blast, Otterville, just clips here and there. And then I decided, I want to give more people recognition and more thanks just for everything that everyone's done, supporting Otterville, the hobby shops, supporting the Otterville races, whether they're on site or in the background, people ordering online or going to their hobby shops. It's all recognized and appreciated because let's see, it's a vicious circle, but it's true. I mean, tracks need racers need tracks, hobby shops need racers, hobby shops need racetracks. So yeah, I mean, we all have to work together, and so yeah, with doing that, it's a big thank you from me to everyone out there, the racers and hobby shops. And so yeah, Jeff done most of the work. I just got the information to him, the logos and everything. And yeah, so this is a video that I've been super stoked to show everyone. It's pretty cool because I couldn't do it, so let's do it.
Oh, dude, it does not disappoint. Hold on, let me just get rid of the thing in the way here. Pull that out, man. So I haven't even seen the final cut yet, so this is going to be my first time seeing the final edit here. And man, obviously you guys have seen Jeff's work. And if you do want to get him making something special for you, please reach out. He is very pro. And by the looks of this video, you guys are going to be impressed too. So without further ado, I'm going to shut my yap for a second. Let's see what he's got.
You turn the volume up.
Oh, yeah. I was trying to grab it, man. Jeff, you did a fantastic job. I'm coming for the cup. That baby's mine. Oh man, that was sick. And look at the short course championship being built. Short course is right behind me, and you guys are gonna have to come and steal it. I know Blakely's got a little something to say about that for sure.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be fun in short course this year. It looks like it's really gonna take off.
I'm just gonna turn that down. There we go. Go ahead.
And yeah, it looks like the short course class is really going to take off again this year. And also to add to the video, I will be posting a link to the video on my group page here as soon as we're done the live feed.
Oh yeah, Jeff just sent me something too. So thank you, Jeff. Yeah, no, I'm telling you, it was awesome, man. I can't wait to share it as well. We'll share it on all of our feeds and stuff like that. But like I said, man, hit up Jeff Joyce if you do want something made specifically for you or your sponsors, and he'll do a fantastic job for you. Just hit him up and see what he can do. Now that we're all hyped for some outdoor off-road racing, what do you think our chances are of getting a big name pro down to O-Town for this season?
I think it's pretty good. I don't know if I should be mentioning any names, but I know there's one that's been wanting to come up for the last 2 years, and he hasn't due to the pandemic. So, yeah, one for sure that I know of. It would be cool to definitely get a couple couple more. It's a big undertaking to get more than one. It's a big undertaking to get one, but to get more than one would be huge for sure.
Absolutely.
But
Yeah.
no, I'm excited about the whole thing. I feel like it's a new year. It's an even better year. Getting past the pandemic, a new year, a new season, revamped series. I think it's going to be more exciting because we have more chances to make something happen. And for those guys that want to race elsewhere, that's kind of how it's set up. So you've got best 5 of 8 for the folks that really want to make a dent and make a statement in the series. They've got potentially 8 chances as long as Mother Nature lets us run those 8 chances. That's the biggest thing. But I'm excited because, I feel like the series was just getting excited, then it was over. And
dude, I'm looking forward to it. It's definitely going to be unique having the points come back in the way that you're doing it. The format has been expanded, and it's going to be basically set up for the racers who can be the most consistent. And like you said, having the extra drops isn't too bad.
Yeah, and the whole sportsman pro classes kind of, I don't know, maybe Douglas could have some feedback on this. I mean, I thought about breaking it up into a sportsman and pro class, but I wasn't sure. I feel like it would make the race format more difficult, perhaps, or the race day longer, or maybe it wouldn't. I don't really know because you're not really adding any more races. You're just breaking it up into sportsman guys and the pro guys. So basically guys who, like myself, sponsored, you should be pro. If you're sponsored, you are there for a reason. I would hope that it's just not a contracted racer, but you're a pro racer, so you should be there versus a sportsman. Well, I will never be Douglas, or I'll never be Juban or Andrew Blakely. So, but I'm having fun. But hey, it would be nice to go for something. So hey, let's make a sportsman class. So I want to try to do that amongst the points. But do I manually do it, or can I actually do a sportsman class and a pro class? It's a tough one, isn't it, Douglas?
If you do the pro and the sportsman or expert and intermediate, whatever you decide to do, if you do it, it's going to make racing a lot closer. And then you're also going to see guys who you're never, like, for one, you won't add any races, because you'll just make it so you can only enter into one. Racing will be a lot closer because all the guys who think or say that they're a pro will go into the pro classes. And you can tell, everyone will have a rough idea if you're a pro or sportsman or intermediate, whatever you want to classify it as. And then you also have the guys who want to get into intermediate, and all the intermediate racing be super close to the intermediate because they're all at that level.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And what it also provides is, like, you could do something like, if you win an intermediate, say it's nitro buggy. So you win intermediate nitro buggy and you TQ win. The minute you win it, you automatically bump up into the pro class. So then it gives people a challenge to get into the upper class. And it really kind of, it won't like defy anything, but it'll just make everything a lot closer, and it will push guys to get to that next level of racing.
Yeah, so like at the end of the series, when you say winning it, so Joe Blow won the intermediate. So at the end of the season, then he is now kicked out of the intermediate, and he is now a pro driver.
Yeah, something
kind of
like
deal?
that, or like you just like, you could even do like whoever wins the say the cup for intermediate sportsman, whatever you do, just say that person will automatically get bumped up to the pro class. Because down in the US, this is the way you get defined if you're intermediate or pro. If you've been down a lot of race events and you've won the intermediate class, or have been in like the top 3 in an intermediate class, usually the next race, people go to the pro class because they go, hey, I won. I'm faster than all these guys. Let me try my hand and see where I can go from here. Because if you're in the pro class, you should be able to beat everybody in the intermediate class.
Mhm.
That's the way you kind
Or-
of have
or
to think
close,
about it.
yeah,
Or super
yeah.
close too.
Right.
So it's a toss up. I mean, if you split it up, it's gonna be the one thing for sure. You'll have way closer racing,
Mhm.
and I think people will enjoy that more because the racing is so tight. It's gonna be much tighter. But people might also like it to have people who are faster than them in their heats, so that they can push to get there.
Mhm.
Because that's what they want to see. They want to see the car in front of them. They want to push to see where they're losing it. So it's not based on your level of sponsorship in the States. It's what you decide.
I was going to say
choose.
that too.
It's
Yes.
not based on level of sponsorship at all. Because if it was based on level of sponsorships, I'd be stuck in the intermediate every time.
Right.
Um,
And you could basically
Yeah.
choose whatever you want. And it's based on what they do is they look at your lap times. So if your lap times, say you sign up for Sportsman, if your lap times are good enough to be in the A main for intermediate, they bump you out of Sportsman. If you're in intermediate and your lap times are good enough to be in the A main for pro, they bump you out of intermediate and put you in the pro.
Yeah.
Even though you might not make the A main in pro,
Yeah.
they'll still bump you out.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's where Patrick Rossiter from
Yes.
from Westwood.
Yep.
He at Wicked, I'm pretty sure got bumped into the pro class for
Yeah.
buggy
Right.
because his times were faster than the intermediate guys who won it. But down
Correct.
at SIC, he was an intermediate and won it all
Right.
because of his times were different. So
Now, in
I
a
don't know.
case where, yeah, I mean, I guess I got to look at it as even racing at Otterville is on a smaller scale compared to the big races in the States, wouldn't you say?
a little
Entry
bit.
wise,
Entry-wise, yeah.
Entry-wise,
But
yes, but-
level-wise, it's much, much closer. And that's the thing too. And this is where you kind of have to say, like, and you could do it like the States. Like, so say the fastest guy in Sportsman could be anybody. Say they have a 28.5. And then this new person or person who's raced somewhere else comes in from away, wants to race the intermediate class, but is doing a 28 flat, and the pro guys are doing a 27.5. You can either one of two things. You can leave them in the intermediate, or you can do what the US guys do and say, hey, I know you might want to run the intermediate to kind of get better results, but I'm going to bump you up into the pro class because that's where you should be. That's where you should be racing.
Yeah.
So I think basically what you're saying is probably a bit more work on my end as far as the analysis when I start the series, because I could run it based on, okay, who signed up, and I don't know everybody based on, say it's broken up into 2 divisions. I just don't think there's enough to break it up into 3. Like e-buggy could be broken up into 3, beginners and all that, but I don't think it's worth doing.
No, like
I think 2.
500 entries. It's only broken up twice. That's it.
Yeah.
So 2 is more than enough.
Yeah, I think so too. It definitely gives people something to go for. But I'm thinking, okay, so after the first race, and then I look at the standings, and I'm thinking, okay, this guy is in Sportsman or intermediate. We'll use intermediate for an example.
Yep.
But he's killing the field, so he should be in pro. So I would have to manually enter him into the pro class standings. Is think of what I'd have to do, right?
Yeah.
So what they do computer wise, John, was what they did was everybody qualifies wherever they sign up for heat number 1 or qualifier number 1. Okay. After qualifier number 1, what they do is they do the printout. And you can see right there after the first round of qualifying where everybody stacks up. And if they're at that time, you place them into where they would have qualified into the next class. So say you're in Sportsman and they qualified 8th overall in pro, you would just take their name out. And when you do the resort for round number 2, they would be in that sort.
Okay, so I wouldn't have to like enter any numbers, just put them in there, just stick them in there.
Yeah.
Right. Because when you're doing the resort anyways, you just know like, hey, look, like, hey, buddy, like you got to see from the resort, go look at where your names are. And that's where you're at based on your driving ability on the track. Doesn't matter what you really say. And some people might sandbag. I've heard that story before, and some people might. But let's face it, man. You'll be able to tell if they're sandbagging, and maybe we'll have to have a punishment for it because then it won't happen again. But I think for the majority of the people, everybody's trying to put their best foot forward, and I think it'll be super cool because everybody will have that thing that they can battle for. Because let's face it, man, when Douglas shows up, it's usually second place anyway, so we might as well have some fun.
Yeah, second place is the new first.
But
see, Mike, I agree.
The only problem is that with it being a series, if you get a guy who, say, kills the intermediate class round 1 and 2 or race 1 and 2, and then all of a sudden you think, oh, he should probably go to the pro class. The problem with something like that is the points transfer over the way that they work.
But there's a lot of drops though.
And that's what I'm saying. You can get away with it because of the drops.
Right.
But I'm saying I'd almost say for each race, try to get a seeding round in. Even if it's like a 3-minute, 3-lap, top 3 consecutive, do something.
Yeah.
So that you can at least filter something of, okay, this guy's really quick. This guy's kind of where he should be. This guy should be in the class ahead. Kind of figure out where that is. And then depending on where that is, slot them into their class that you think is best fitted for them. And then leave them there for the whole series. If something happens, is a great litmus test. Yeah. If something happens, whatever, they have a bad weekend. They have a bad weekend. But regardless, they're at that pro level or could be at that intermediate level. But the only way you can keep on top of it is just a seeding round. And all you need is one seeding round, the beginning of the year or the first 2 races, just something to give it a light filter through to give you like, okay, this is where this person stands. This is where this person stands. Blah 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 blah. But
hey, we definitely seen that with the Rhymers, man. That guy was on fire, bumping up all the way through. Yeah, I agree. Because you know what? When John does the bigger events and he gives us the bigger bumps, it makes it exciting for everybody. So I agree 100%, Mike. Yeah.
And I mean, the biggest thing this year for the Auto Cup Series is it's going to be limited entries. So I'm looking to, not that I want to, but I'm going to be weeding out guys or basically turning guys away because I can't have 200 entries for a 1-day event. I just can't do it. I think my maximum would be like 160 to 170, and that's it. I'm thinking like 16, 17 heats maximum is all I could do. 2 rounds and then the mains. I don't want to screw around with the mains. I want the mains to be full on mains. And, a round of seeding and then a round of qualifying, but you just basically rocket round is all you could really do if I'm going to do 2 rounds, seeding and then rocket. Yeah.
Or, I mean, you could still do qual points. Like a lot of the races down at the US do it, like Mugen Challenge. It was two rounds, qual point style, but it was qual points over pace. So say I had a 2, the lowest I could go is a 4. But if the next qualifier, another guy gets a 2, the tiebreaker who has the fastest pace.
The actual pace, yeah.
The actual pace. So that's another way you can do with qual points.
Yeah, and I definitely want to do it right. I definitely want to do it right. Like I say, I'm not a a know-all. I'm really liking the Lifetime. It's got so much to look at, so many useful things. But yeah, I want to make sure I can do the series right if I'm going to be limiting my entries and 2 rounds and then mains. Yeah, I got to make sure that things are working perfectly and flawlessly.
Yeah, but even with the 2 rounds, when you do qual points,
I want to see that too, Steve.
With the qual points, it rewards people for consistency, and it also rewards people who are fast.
Exactly. I don't like qual points. I don't like rocket rounds. I prefer qual points. So if there's a way I can do that, then that's the way I want to go.
I prefer qual points because track conditions change so much. Example, rocket rounds, you run 3 rocket rounds. Say the track is super fresh, and just say it's just loose dirt and water. Say I'm first round, first heat up, first qualifier. I could throw down a heater and it could last all day, and
Yep.
no one will even touch it within a lap because the track conditions went to absolute garbage within 6
Exactly.
hours. 6 hours.
Yeah.
That's all it takes. So at least with this, it rewards you doing well in your heat, and it also rewards you with pace because of the comparison it does.
Yeah, rockets were only when sugar days. way back in the clay / sugar days. It was definitely consistent, but not so
We'll
much
have to
now.
get out our phone and our calculators. Me and Dennis can never figure it out, man. We just
It's
think we're
honest-
we're somewhere.
The 2 qual point system probably is actually easier to figure out than 3.
I agree.
Because the minute you get a 0 in the double qual points, the lowest you can go is 2. So
Right.
whatever your number is, double it. That's the lowest you can go. That's the
Gotcha.
easiest way to calculate it. So
Okay,
say I
Dennis,
get a-
remember that, bud.
Yeah. So say I get a 5. The lowest I can go is 10. I
Okay.
get a 0. The lowest I go is 2. I get a 3. The
Yeah.
lowest I can go is 6. That's it.
So
And it makes it
yeah, so
super
basically, how many are you gonna have on the driver's stand this year, and how long do you think the mains are gonna be? Because I tried to put the question up, but I didn't want to cut anybody off.
There again, I want to keep racing fun. I want to keep the track wide open for racing. It's only going to be a maximum of 10 on the driver's stand, so it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun for that reason. I have a small track, so if I can expand my layouts better, maybe make the lanes a little bit narrower so I can get some more layout configurations in, I want to do that. So that's one thing. I want to stick to 10. 10 is lots.
Ooh, I love it, but it just makes it that much more challenging to make the show. So
Exactly.
that means for the qual points going to your scenario, you would have to finish 4th. So then it would only double up, and then it'd be 8. So you would put yourself into the A main. So there you go. You're shooting for. Oh my God, I'm not going to see the A main.
when the minute you do double qual points,
Yeah.
it makes the racing extremely tight because
Yes.
one position change could drop you 4 positions, potentially even way more.
Mhm.
Could be way more.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
basically the only people who even in big races like LCRC when they did it, there was 12 plus 2. So literally the top 6 were basically guaranteed a spot in the show.
Locked.
Basically
Yeah.
locked, because anything below 6, you could have been 6 other people from the B main, which down there is like super tight. 6 people from the B main can just come and destroy your time, and now you're just stuck 6th in the B main from friggin' like 5th or 6th or like 7th or 8th on the grid on the A.
Right.
So, but I don't
Just
know.
keeps it interesting, right?
Keeps it it's tight, interesting, and keeps it close.
Well, I like that John's just trying to think outside of the box and make it exciting for us racers, because let's face it, John's putting on the show. He's trying to do a little bit different this season, and he's trying to create that excitement. And I got to applaud you for trying that out. And I know everybody's like super psyched for it because, man, let's face it, I went today and raced a 2-wheel drive off-road car on carpet, for Pete's sake. I'm ready for some off-road. Jeez. Let's make this happen.
Yeah, and I mean, in regards to the sportsman pro classes, whatever, the 2 classes I decided to do, I mean, it's going to be really in place for probably e-buggy because it's such a huge class, nitro buggy because it's a big class,
Yeah.
e-buggy probably, short course, I don't know yet. If I do, like, say we get 20 or 25, yes, probably. It would be broken up into 2. But there again, I don't want to screw it up where it's like you got to have those full heats. That's the biggest thing. I don't want it to be screwed up in that regard where you've only got 6 and then 6 and 7. Those are the issues. Like nitro truggy is another one I'm concerned with for entries 6 and 7, and it's not looking promising. There again, probably just 1 class. So
Some like most of the truck heats down in the US only
all
run one
one.
class. They're all one.
Yeah.
Just they call it open is what they call it.
yeah,
Right.
exactly.
For sure.
And then another thing to touch on, to split it up, I look at it as the only way you can split it up is you have to have a minimum of 2 heats per section. So you have an A
Exactly.
and a B. You have to have 4 full heats to be able to split it, to break
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
That way you have the marshal
Only way-
spots covered.
that's the only way you can do it is you have to have 4 full heats to split it.
Mhm.
Nice.
So
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when I set up my sign up for registration, I mean, should I be setting it up as pro and intermediate or
No,
whatever?
no, just by class. And then when you do the seating or
Look
the
at the numbers
qualifier,
first.
correct, you have to. Because,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
man, I'm signing up for under sportsman with Matt. And
Yeah.
obviously, I hope to get bumped, but I might not. You never know.
Yeah, because I mean, when I set up the racing and we start
Yeah.
racing, I mean, I need to have the two divisions already in place if I'm going to do it for e-buggy and nitro buggy for sure. Like, for example,
Right.
you
So
can't just run an open class and decide, okay, well, I'm going to break it up, because then that's where I'm down to. I got to do it manually in the series points, and I don't want to do. I'm trying to avoid doing that. So.
Right. And I think that once the qualifying's done or the seating, like what Douglas suggested, that's when you can do the separation then. And then that way the computer will take over from there.
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
it's so hard to I wouldn't say let people see the thing, because at the end of the day, yes, there may be guys who want to get into that pro intermediate class, and some people from intermediate who should stay in intermediate might want to go to pro. But the problem is that I feel like I don't think you get enough entries for them to be able to just select what they want. So
I agree.
that's where I think you have to filter regardless. So you come in, do your 3-minute seating, whatever you want to do. You could even do it this way. Go out for practice, take their one fastest lap and average it all out. You don't even have to do a seating. You could do it that way. But once you do that, you just have the only thing is just emphasize, please check your heats. Something could have been changed. You might have been bumped or dropped depending on wherever you go. That's all you can do. Yes, you may get some guys who get discouraged. Oh, I got dropped down, blah, 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 this, that, and the other. But the guys who got their stuff together will be up there. The guys who should be up there will be up there.
Yeah, the cream always rises to the top. Anyways.
Yeah, like you'll
I would prefer to start at the bottom and work my way up. Honestly, I mean, if I got kicked into the pro class, I mean, hey, to me that's like that's a trophy right there. Hey, man, I'm racing with the fast guys. Now I get to chase them around and get faster. I mean, I would rather be that than be in pro and get kicked out because I'm slow. It's like, oh yeah, I suck.
Yeah. So that's honestly not that bad of an idea either.
Not bad either. But the problem is that the people who are, say, in the A from last year, from guys coming back, because it's technically, I would say this is probably our full first without COVID year.
Yeah.
That first A might not stack up at all. Because you're going to get guys coming all throughout from probably the borders coming over now way more often. So that I bet you over half that A is probably completely different.
I agree. Yeah.
So,
especially since Richard and Shannon are been messaging me off the hook. I talked with Richard the other day. He is like super stoked to come over, and he wants to throw down at O-Town, so it'll be sick. Yeah, you know what, Kat? That might not. Yeah, that'd probably be a little bit more realistic. Yeah. We just got to see. Oh, man. I hope so, man. Somebody's got to do it. Somebody's got to do it, Steve. We'll
Dougie
see.
is pumping down.
Yeah, Dougie. But so what if the fast guy can't make the seeding round? Then obviously he would get bumped up after the first round qualifying.
you could do it that way, or even they have to do morning practice. Take their fastest laps and slot them
based off where he was.
Because if you do a seeding round, then you have to do it after first qual. Or you could do seeding round and then take your fast lap for guys who come after. Or you could just do the fast lap. Let them take their fast lap. Or just during practice, don't tell anyone. Because of practice time, take their best 3 laps, or probably best 1, because 3 is hard between traffic and stuff. Take their 1 best lap and slot them. So, because regardless, you're going to have to add people in the morning if they come on the morning of that day. So regardless of where you add them, you can just select to slot them where you want, off of whatever they're sitting as. Yeah.
No, I think like if he does seating, I think 3 minutes is more than fine too, because with the expected I'm not going to say my lap times, but Douglas is usually around 23s and quicker. But having 3 minutes, I think he can string together something pretty consistent. By then.
I think you should depending on the layout, you should be able to do anywhere between 7 to 8 laps.
Nice.
So yeah.
Yeah. So even if you mess up,
Yeah.
and hey, when you're seating and you're practicing, if you mess up, you can even
Stop.
pull over, shake it
Yeah.
off, and reset and go at it hard again. But definitely not too bad. But
Sounds
hey,
like I've got some work to do. I can tell you that, as far as trying to figure out how to get it organized and in place. Like I say, we only have one day. And if guys are coming out Friday, which might be 80% Friday for practice, that would
Okay.
definitely give some idea. I mean, I would love to do some sort of, I wish everybody could just come out Friday. It would make that much easier to say, all right, we're going to do a seating practice, late afternoon, like into the evening, say after supper from 7 till 9, we'll do a seating round just to figure it out. So I know where to put everybody. Then we can start the race day Saturday. Boom, we're just giving her. But
yeah,
I don't know if that's
what you do, John, and I really like this. You don't let anybody practice Saturday morning who went out Friday night.
Friday.
So what Douglas just said just gave me the idea that you could just take their one fast lap and plug them in. Yeah, because you're gonna have to stack them. We're gonna and honestly, this is just to get everybody starting to talk about it. Maybe you should post it up on the O-Town Facebook page and just generate the conversation, because obviously we're only 3 guys trying to figure it out. And I think if we have the whole group trying to, maybe somebody already knows how to do this, can just kind of help us out along that path, right?
I should get Jared Bardeen in on this, because he knows his stuff. But
and he's been to a lot of big
figure
events.
out how the easiest way for someone like myself that's not that computer techie with Lifetime. I mean, Lifetime is easy to look at, but there's stuff that I'm still not sure of. So I mean, to get someone to say, yeah, all you got to do is set it up like this, and it'll automatically put those guys where they should be. I don't know if that's even possible. I have no idea. But it would be cool if it could automatically put people in the pro class or the intermediate class based on lap times. It'd be cool if it would do that.
I would think it would be by sort. In my head, I can picture how it would be done, because I've seen it happen with all the race time entertainment events. I just don't know what they do behind the scenes, but I do see that they switch it around, and it doesn't look like it's super hard, but I don't know.
Yeah, I can't see the computer, taking guys and saying, okay, all these guys are in pro, all these guys are in sportsman. I don't think it does that. You basically got to throw these guys into their respected classes or divisions, and then it will seed them ranking wise in their divisions, but then you need to physically move them where they should be if they don't meet the criteria, I think is how that works, unless there's something I don't know.
That's basically how it is, at least from what I could see.
We might have to talk to him.
Yeah. But from what I saw is they let registration have the 2 separate classes. So you have your intermediate, your pro, and even in the bigger race, you have sportsman. They let people sign up for what classes they thought they should be in.
Yeah.
And then again, took their fast lap, whatever it is, and slotted them.
That's what I was thinking too.
Into their thing. Now this is the problem with a set minimum lap time. Then you have the problem of, someone sandbags. Someone does this. That's the problem with that. You can set the minimum lap time, and even for me, so say hypothetically I wanted to race intermediate for the day because I didn't want to race pro for whatever reason. All I'd have to do is go out there and slow down just enough to
meet the minimum lap time.
Meet the minimum lap time, and I'm slotted in. And the problem is that after the first qualifier, you can't change it because they don't have enough opportunities to do anything about it.
Yeah, it's already on.
It's already on. So all they have to do is basically not bomb the first qualifier, but do half decent in the first qualifier to keep you under, and then they explode the second qualifier, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
So it's such a fine little thing that you can do about it.
I agree, Steve, because everybody should be trying to put their best foot forward, because we are trying to make this fun and more exciting for a larger group of people, because not everybody can compete at the same level. So now this way, everybody has something that they can be proud of coming back. Now, not everybody likes just trying to improve their personal best time, which is what I've been doing over the last couple of years. Just trying to get my personal best. If I beat my personal best, I'm happy. If I don't break, I'm even more happy. But the thing is, you're right. It's personal preference at that point, because if you're gonna cheat, you're like, man, you're gonna cheat.
And this brings a really valid point about what I was saying before about manually calculating the series standings and kind of breaking it up from my standpoint manually, just by keeping everybody in the open classes. And then I look at the standings and say, okay, I'm going to separate it here. Could be top 20, could be top 22.
Just average
where the separation gap is. And then it basically kind of leaves it open for anybody that wants to continue to improve. Because, I mean, I've seen guys improve that started the season in 2022, and they were in the A main by the end of 2022. And they were just beginners. Yeah. And they went from beginner to like pro level. I mean, I raced with them on the driver's stand. I could not believe how fast these guys got over the course of the year.
Yeah,
real quick.
So in that regards, it's like, it's not a bad idea if I kind of keep it. It's almost kind of like a secret thing where I could say, all right, I'm not going to just close the series standings for 2 races or 3 races, just to kind of see and feel where things are sorting out. And then boom, I release and say, this is where it's broken up. And these are the guys that are going for the intermediates. These are the guys that are all going for pro.
Yeah.
It could be a way to go. So I still got time to mull it over, but it might not be a bad idea. It's something different.
Yeah. Or if you're going to go that way, release the points, but make it very vague. Here's your standing. Here's your name. Here's the points you have. And then like the points you have per race. You can give
I don't even have to see where everybody is, because nobody knows where I'm thinking, right?
You can give the total number of drivers, but nobody's going to know where you cut off, because all you have to do with those points is add a fast lap right beside on an extra column, add their fast lap of what they had. And then once you see like a drop off of like half a second, boom, cut off right there. That's it. Nobody else is going to see that, because you're going to post everything before that, before you add that column. And they're going to see, oh, I'm doing pretty good. And then you'll see after that who's going to be competing for which one, which in theory will stop sandbagging. You won't have to put a minimum lap time counter in there. You won't have to run a seating round. You won't have to do a fast lap thing. That eliminates everything we've literally talked about, as long as you add a fast lap to the right-hand side of the column and draw a cutoff line of where you think there's a big drop-off.
That's not bad.
So
yeah, like I say, I think just to post the points and not not say anything is the biggest thing. It's like,
keep it as vague.
Where
as
is John going to separate them? You don't know. Where's the otter going to do it?
Yeah, just make it make the points as vague as possible. That's it. That's all you can do. And then, because the only thing is that once you separate it, you then have to stagger your points, because depending on which race you tell them that you're going to separate it as, if the person in the intermediate wins the intermediate class nullification or wherever they finish, the points difference can be different from the guy who wins the pro class to the guy who wins technically the intermediate class. Because
that's just it. I mean, if the race if the race format is being run as open and the point series is being run as open, then like I say, it's me manually. I have to look at it and I have to like take my marker and say, this is where it is. And then at the end of the series, I look there, and like during the series, someone could be like, oh man, I'm like right there on the edge of winning the intermediates. But then they might do really well, bump into a higher main, and then boom, now they're away from it. So it's like, that's good and bad. It's good because, hey, they've improved. Bad because, hey, they just lost their chance for intermediate title. But hey, I would rather be going for pro anyway. That's just me. I prefer, to be pro champion than intermediate, regardless of how well I drive.
I agree.
It's just, it keeps it more, to me, it keeps it as an open scenario where you can keep working harder to move up. Because my biggest thing is there's so many people that I've seen move up from like a beginner style racer to like, wow, that guy has improved a lot.
Yeah, 100%, I agree. Like, and
Well-
that's the thing too. If you leave it open, then you can do that. But it's once you separate it, then that's
Yeah.
where you run into that issue
Exactly.
where like you then have to add or drop guys. You have to do the points calculations differently. So if you leave it open and then just say, here, this is where the cutoff line is, we'll still classify it as open, but depending on where you stand, you may be an intermediate, you may be in a pro.
Mhm.
Right.
So,
Mhm. Yeah.
I like it, man. I definitely think it should be posted and up for discussion because it's a fantastic idea and it's keeping it fresh. That's the best thing that I like because let's face it, everybody shows up and we want to keep it fun for everybody. And I think this is going to increase the fun factor for a lot more drivers. Let's face it.
It's
Like,
definitely I mean, and it's fun regardless of whether you're in the A main or the D main or the F main. Those guys are still having fun in those mains. So I mean, as long as we can keep racing fun, regardless of what main it is, but then just add a little extra to say, hey, you guys that are running in the so-called E main
Whatever we call
or
it,
C or whatever are actually going for a title now.
Right.
In your own in a secretive little way kind of deal. Even though it's an open class, there is something you're going for. So that's what
something
I'm
in the
trying to do.
background going on.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that'll be good. But all right, man, I am almost out of tape. We have been at it
we gotta
for
go.
an hour and 45 minutes. Man, I appreciate you guys both coming on. I appreciate Jeff for sharing that link. And I know John's going to be posting it on the O-Town page. I will also post it on mine as soon as I get back in. But thank you guys for being on board, and I will see you guys next week.
Sounds good. Thanks for having me on board. Nice to chat with you, Douglas. Thanks for all the ideas and whatnot. And maybe we'll see you at the on-road Nats. There's a chance the Otter might attend.
Awesome. If you do
Oh,
come,
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks, Adam.
Yeah, it'll be sick. All right, guys, I will see you later. Cool, man. What a show. That one was one for the ages. Thank you guys for being a part of it. What I want to say is to Steve, I don't know if it's not going to be a points race in Windsor. I might be able to either go to the barnyard or I might be able to go to the rug burners race. I'm going to have to talk to some peeps and see what the dealio is with Ross Racing. I will definitely keep you posted. So stay tuned to Ross Racing Facebook page and we'll see what we can do going forward. But thanks for tuning in and I will see you guys next weekend. Bye for now.